So
I've
now I
gotten
want to move
better.
on. I want to move on to last two segments are fun segments in my mind. First one, NFL stocks, buy or sell. Okay, so I have
Is this
5
players or
stocks.
teams?
This is scenarios.
Oh,
Okay,
beautiful. I love it.
so you're buying or selling. Okay, we're opening up the stock market. Go to ring that bell. Buying or selling Justin Fields being traded this offseason. Are you buying this or are you selling this?
Buying it. He can't play quarterback. He can't throw from the pocket. Get that man out of here. Roll out the red carpet. Bing, bing, bing. USC, come on down. Caleb Williams, Chicago Bears starting quarterback. And then I want them to take Justin Fields, trade him for a second. I want them to
Yep.
take that second round pick and their number 9 pick they have. I want them to jump back into the top 5 and take my guy, Marvin Harrison Jr. And do the D'Amico Ryans playbook from last year where they got Stroud and Will Anderson. Let's get Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Chicago Bears ASAP. Buying.
Wow. Yeah, no, I agree with that. First part, absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna buy all of this stock. I'm gonna buy every single penny. Yeah.
Yeah, just the first part.
Moving back up and all that stuff. That's wild. Now, it's not impossible because again, we just saw this past draft, and it worked out extremely well for the Texans. Obviously, they have the offensive player of the year, or excuse me, offensive rookie of the year, and then potentially the defensive rookie of the year on the other side as well. Jalen Carter might have something to say about that, but Will Anderson is the man he was supposed to be. Now, are you buying or are you selling? It's another trade. Stephon Diggs being traded this offseason.
I'm buying that. I don't believe in this whole, oh, hey, yeah, he's my brother, but what he says has nothing to do with me. Trayvon was trying to get Stephon out of that team at like the week 6, know. And I just think with the Bills, they got to do a lot of soul searching. It hasn't worked. What they have hasn't worked. It looks like they found a running back, but
Yeah, for sure.
every time Josh Allen does something heroic, it's him doing it with his feet. I just don't know if it's Stephon Diggs. I don't know if it's another issue, but they need a lot more than just 1 or 2 tweaks if they want to get past Mahomes and, sending off Diggs for some draft compensation or whatever else they can get for him might be, especially when he seems unhappy. But I'm of the mindset, man, if the player's unhappy, I don't want him on my team anyway.
Absolutely. So I'm curious. I didn't watch a lot of Bills football this year. Stephon was Stephon, right? Those first like 8 weeks. And then after that, he just fell off. Was it game planning? Was it Stephon not getting open? Was it Josh Allen not throwing to him? What was it? Did you watch more Bills football than I did to know the answer to that? I want to go back and look. But what was the issue there? Because Stephon should still be Stephon. There shouldn't be an issue there. He's still a top 5 route runner in the league. You don't just fall off in the middle of a season, in my mind, unless you all of a sudden secretly a secret injury comes out and like, yeah, I was playing through a torn meniscus the whole time and I really couldn't route run that well and I really wasn't getting open. It was kind of my bad. Unless that comes out, I don't see from off-season to off-season and you have a drop-off because of game planning and offensive coordinator changes, all that stuff. That's realistic. But in the middle of the season, with the best wide receiver on the team and you really don't have another good wide receiver on the team at all, or great, I should say, why do you fall off? That's my question.
To me, it's chemistry with your starting quarterback, man. You got your brother out there spouting off. Who knows what he was doing in the locker room and what he was saying. And I just think it's one of those things when you go into war with someone, you want to trust them when you go into battle. And a lot of these throws that these quarterbacks make, it's because they know the guy is going to do what he needs to do and be where he needs to be. I watch it every week with my quarterback. He makes anticipation throws because he's expecting the wide receiver to be where he's going to be, and it's because he has chemistry. Like I said, we have to pay Brandon Ayuk because that's Brock Purdy's guy. Stephon Diggs is not Josh Allen's guy. They're not on the same page. They don't seem to have the chemistry, and you can see it. Now, I don't think that necessarily translates to Stephon's next stop, but we are talking about a guy who's coming into the later half of his career. You see these wide receivers, they're divas. They always want to get paid. DeAndre Hopkins went where he went this year for the contract, not for the best chance at winning. And so
Yeah.
I would have to imagine at this point, I think Diggs is probably on the decline coming out of his top most productive years. And I'm not sure if he's worth sticking around if he's not 1,000% happy and in line with his quarterback, because Josh
Yeah.
Allen ain't going nowhere.
That's for sure. Now, next one, buy or sell. Are you buying or are you selling on the Patriots drafting a quarterback?
I'm buying that 1,000%. I saw him do an interview where he said that they were gonna do a ton of research on the most important pick in the most important position in a draft. And the only other player that's up there is a tackle or Marvin Harrison Jr. And
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't do nothing for you if it's Bailey Zappi throwing the ball to him. So
Yeah, I would. Yeah, 100%. I think they're drafting a quarterback, whether it's here at 3 or whether they're moving back and they're drafting somebody else. I think they're taking a quarterback regardless, especially with the new regime coming in. It's super common for when you see a new regime coming in, especially with the high draft picks, they're drafting a quarterback. Now, are you buying or selling? And this has been whispers, slight whispers that I've seen of them potentially wanting to do this. And I think this would be super interesting. Buying or selling the Denver Broncos moving up to draft Caleb Williams?
I'm selling.
Yeah.
You want to know why?
Yeah, why?
Because I'm not a big believer in cutting a hole in your boat. I saw this on Twitter. Shout out to Benjamin Albright. He said he is not a big believer in cutting a hole in his boat to patch another hole in his boat. And the only way that you get up to one is by trading your star corner. It makes no sense to trade Surtain to go to number one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I am a big believer. I am a buyer in the Broncos just cutting Russell or trading him away or just taking that cap hit straight to the face and eating it, $110 million hit or whatever it's going to be, and just making it super nasty for a year. Because you gave Sean Payton the fat contract. So he ain't going nowhere. And he inherited Russell Wilson. So I'm a buyer in them finding a different quarterback. But to get all the way up to one, the problem I have with that is that means the Bears have to decide they want to rock with Justin Fields. So you got to want to rock with Justin Fields. You got to want to trade away your star corner. And it makes that's crazy to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Now this
unless the Bears are just so in love with JJ McCarthy or Bo Nix or Michael, maybe the Bears love Michael Penix and they're like, hey, we can get him at the 10th. They have the 9th or 10th pick, whatever it is. So we can get a king's ransom for Caleb, but we could roll with Michael Penix. And we're still going to trade Justin Fields, I guess. But Caleb is Caleb, and I just feel like the Broncos, you're going to give up the picks, you're going to give up Patrick. Like, there's got to be another team out there that's got. There's got to be another team out there that's got better offers than that.
And the Denver Broncos really don't have the draft compensation to be trading away to go up. I mean, they're still paying off their ransom for Russell Wilson, so they don't have the draft compensation to actually move up to get Caleb Williams. It's just
don't get me wrong. I love the idea of Caleb with Sean Payton over whatever he's going to have over there in Chicago. The fact that they didn't move off of that situation is mind-boggling to me. But
yeah,
hey, you know what? And to flash back to another buy sell, I don't know if this is part of them, so I'm going to add my own, and I'm going to sell this. I'm selling on the fact that Kellen Moore turned Justin Herbert into a fucking tomato, but he's going to make magic out of Jalen Hurts. I think that was a terrible hire. Like,
absolutely,
you're going to ruin Justin Herbert. Dak Prescott looked like a trash can last year, and then he's an MVP candidate this year once you're gone. And I was a big Kellen Moore believer. I was like, Justin Herbert going to be an MVP candidate this year, but you're going to make magic out of Jalen Hurts? No.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then I got one more. Buy or sell. Are you buying or selling the Chargers moving on from Joey Bosa or Khalil Mack?
I'm buying both of those.
Both?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Does a lot of it have to do with new regime coming in and making those type of changes to free up the space so they could do what they want?
Joey is valuable. You imagine the 49ers adding Joey Bosa to their defensive line. That they would pay for it. And Joey can do so much for the 49ers at defensive tackle position, more than
Yeah.
he's going to do for the Chargers. They can rotate him in and out. I think when you come in with a new regime, you have this stud quarterback, and their cap situation is just hell.
Yeah,
Like
it's not good.
the only other situation that's worse than theirs is the Panthers, and it's because they have no draft capital, and their rookie quarterback might suck. But whatever you can do to shed
Saints.
salary, bring in pick, yeah, that's true. Bring in picks, whatever you can do. And Khalil Mack had a good season, flashy season. Maybe you get the Von Miller return for Khalil Mack. I would just do whatever. I don't know if you're bringing Derwin James back either. Like there's a lot there, and
Yeah.
Harbaugh signed a 5-year deal, so he's not winning the Lombardi next year. So why not get everything you can?
For sure. All right. Well, that's it for our buy and sell.